So in order to build this cart, this is what we're gonna have to achieve. Our goals, especially for this episode, is to make a giant fit. It is a small cart. We can get in there, as you can see here, but we wanna fit comfortably. So if you guys don't know, my buddy Corey behind the camera is 6'5", about 240 pounds on a good day. You're welcome. And we're gonna make him fit in this cart, because if he can fit in this cart, anybody can fit in this cart. We can always design like a pad or something that you can sit on. And this
booster seat.
A booster seat. So this is what we need to know so we don't just get scatterbrained and go all over the place. To-dos, to-don'ts. Okay, the big thing. To-dos, go fast, have fun, but real talk, this is what we want to achieve with this cart. We want to lap the Freedom Factory in sub 14 seconds. Seems crazy. The lap record's actually like an 11 something. So I think the 14 is very doable with what we're setting out to do with this cart. And then we want to drag race it. We're going to take it to BMP, Bradenton Motorsports Park, and we are going to run a sub 11 second quarter mile. Those are the goals. And the most important to don't is die. Now let's get this thing up on the table and get to cutting. Now to answer your question, he fits, kinda. You can't see, but his butt's actually sitting on a cloud and his legs are hating life right now. But we have a 6'5" Jolly Green Corgi in the cart. This ain't gonna work. This is a death trap, so that's why we are gonna be doing some fab work. Before we even get to the motorcycle part and putting this thing in here, I'm gonna have to help Corey out and probably pry him out of the cart, but we're gonna basically chop up this and kind of widen the frame here, all kinds of stuff. But we're gonna get it on the new welding table, and that way we can show you guys a little bit more.
Oh, ooh, that's a no-no zone. Ow. Oh, shit.
Dude, that was so graceful. Sick lugs, dude.
Should get them shits.
Look at them sick lugs, bro. So now we got it up on the welding table. It'll be a little bit easier for us to cut it up, but this is what we're gonna start with. We're gonna remove the under trays. We're gonna remove all of this stuff, even if it's gonna go back on. We need to get all of this off to bare frame. And then that way we can see what needs to be cut, welded, all that jazz. So we're gonna grab the Sawzall and get to demo work. We got one side, oh yeah, that was a task, wasn't it? We got the one side ripped out. Nobody was hurt in the process, I don't think. Maybe some egos, but holy crap, there was like some decades old rivets and stuff on that. So we got the right side done, and now we can go ahead and jump to the left.
You know, for how old it is, I'm surprised it held together that hard.
No, like, dude, like that's the thing is people are like, oh, this is a formula cart. No, bro, this thing was built with redneck ingenuity. It's absolutely safe. I mean, who needs suspension when you have dampers? I know we don't, not where we're going. All right, back to work. Bro, I swear, like, this is made by Ferrari with the amount of washers that, like, a lot of these parts are having like 2 or 3 washers. Look at the bend on this head. This is top-notch quality. I'm telling you, top-notch. People race these like 100 miles an hour trying to, go fast, dude. And we're just gonna try to do 140, 150.
No problem.
Should be all right.
We'll be all
Yeah,
right.
yeah, I think we'll be okay.
We're up in the safety standard.
We are close to pulling the dress off. I've got 6 rivets. I'm gonna hit with the belt sander and the drill. Take those off real quick, and we'll be pulling this thing off, dude. Look, bro, this was a piece of real estate for at least a minute.
Brother.
Bro, we are resurrecting this thing from the dead. Straight up. This thing would have been left to die.
Next out.
Now we're gonna get the seat. This is how we're gonna make Yeet fit in here. We're gonna extend this out a few inches and basically just rebuild the cage to fit a grown adult. Because if it fits 6'5" core Yeet, it'll fit anybody. All right, so we basically have everything pulled out, the seat pan, the seat belts, everything. I'm trying to get the rest of these brake lines out so that way we can do like a test fit now with Corey in it and see where we need to mark off and extend this out and widen the frame.
All right.
Fit check, take 1. I mean,
fit.
maybe it's a little bit better, right?
Gotta
If I-
definitely narrow it out or widen it
I
out
think-
for the Flintstones to fit.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to just slice her right down the middle, dude.
The distance here,
Yeah, I think
the
lengthwise
steering wheel
it'll
is fine.
work
got to put some arm restraints in.
for sure.
Can't have all of this happening.
For sure.
And definitely have to do something about this.
No, I think we're gonna have to lean you back a little bit. So my take is we mark that arm where the bar would go, and we basically section that all to the suspension, and then the front we'll have to lengthen it as well. It may just be easier to cut this thing all the way down the middle and just extend it 6 inches. Whew.
For your ignition.
All right, so we got the whole nose cone off of the car, got the master cylinders off of it, all this cleared up, the pedals out, all the assembly, all of that stuff. Before we cut this frame and go all haywire, my boy Wolf is coming over. He is the guy that makes gussets, all kinds of crazy stuff. He does things the right way, so if we have to over-engineer this and build around that, I want him to have a second look. So let's fast forward to tomorrow. All right, so it's officially day 2. I'm so glad that we waited to cut it up. We got Wolf here, and now we have made the decision, boys, that we are lobbing it all off. We are gonna cut this thing off right here, bam, bam. And then this center part, we're basically gonna cut these middle bars out of the whole thing, the whole section, and then put in new metal at the width we want. Holy shit. Let's get to work. Hold on, show me that front suspension, dude.
Cadillac stuff.
Are those ball joints? That was the front suspension.
That's
it.
They had bump stops.
That's all you
If
need,
you want
right?
to call it, there ain't much left of it.
Dude, that is redneck chiropractic right there.
Ooh.
That's a money scheme.
That makes my back hurt looking at it.
We are about to chop the front from the back. We're literally on the last cut right now, and we can separate the back. Whew. No turning back now, boys.
Ain't no turning back.
No turning back. All right, dude. The bar's out of it. What's next?
Let's cut the front hoop off.
Now we got to cut the cockpit. The cockpit is off? Dude, that is crazy. Look, we just wanted to build a racing cart in a weekend.
So we destroyed a
So we destroyed. We didn't destroy it, dude. I'm telling you, we're gonna make it better. You'll see the vision, what we're gonna do. Like, we're basically gonna cut all of those center channel rails that are going from side to side out of this thing so that we can give it the width that we want it, you know? So it's not like recreating the whole cart. We're just expanding it, kind of. So now, what me and the boys are gonna do is we're gonna flip this thing upside down, and this metal, this super ultra lightweight 1/8 inch mild steel plate that's in here, we're gonna flip this over and cut all the tacks off and then get it down to bare metal. It's like the last part of her dress, right? Wow, bro, if you put that on the scale, that's probably 80 pounds by itself.
Oh, yeah. Maybe a good 50, 60.
That's heavy, dude. That is heavy.
Here you go.
Hey, well, the good thing is...
Replacing that with some aluminum?
Yeah, we were thinking aluminum or carbon.
Yeah, carbon.
But we need something structural just to protect your butt.
Aluminum here, carbon there.
Well, the good thing is because these are top-notch welds, as you can see, it's fully penetrated. So it looks like cutting that up is going to be kind of easy.
Yeah. This thing's gonna be a lot safer.
A lot safer, for sure.
Some of the things that we found in this, I don't even think we should.
Questionable
put on camera.
is giving it like a big compliment,
But
for sure.
Whoever drove
There's a
this
whole racing
before,
class.
shout out to the balls on that guy.
Yeah, whoever owned this cart before and you actually like drove this thing full tilt, how it was supposed to, like straight up, like
How's your back?
There was no suspension.
no suspension at all. Hell yeah, dude. So let's go ahead and cut these sections out and then clean this spit up and start getting this thing mocked up on the table. Well, this is officially the right side of the cart. What's left? So
It's upside down. It's actually the left side.
is it? Oh, it is upside down. Man, we're all turned around here. Yeah, we'll definitely have this thing done by tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Rip and burnouts in the driveway.
No, dude, it's actually to a good spot. So now that we have the left and right, what we'll do is we'll clean up the welding table. So I've already got the live axle off of that, so we can start cutting into that as well. But I think our best bet, clear this off. Let's go ahead and put the main hoop here, get it at the angle and degree that we want. And then we'll basically be able to put our extensions off the width and then line it up with this to give us the width that we're looking for in the front. It'll make more sense once this is cleaned up and mocked up. One second. Yeah, we'll cut all that off and clean that up. I think that's really what we're going for as far as like the angle, because I'll show you in the old video, it was like straight up and down before. So I think putting that angle there.
Get it on that side.
Yep, and then that would be the left. We might be maxing out the welding table already, but pretty much if we extend that out, right, it'll also be up. So scoot it your way. Like even like that, that's gonna give us a lot more space. That's basically like the whole width of the welding table is what we'll have inside of Fat Guy Friendly, dude. It's exactly what we're shooting for. So yeah, we're not gonna spend too much time cleaning this stuff up because I'd rather like get it mock fit and then we can spend a day, maybe even a whole episode on just cleaning this up and painting it and making it look good. But this is kind of what you're dealing with. You know, it's the curse of trying to reuse the metal and not just throw out money and build this thing from scratch. We want you guys to be able to like build these carts as well. So it's like, buy a cart off a marketplace, use what you can, get some cheap metal and fab up some cool shit in your garage, dude. Yep. So I think I'm gonna start cutting some metal and we'll start getting some measurements. basically it's going to be a 28-inch width-wise. So we're going to get almost 6 more inches of width at the widest point. So when I say the widest point, that means that back here, this is 21 7/8 total. So this, instead of just going out square and then keeping it square, all that, what we're going to actually do is run a piece of metal off of this at an angle that's going to come up to give us that inside diameter. So basically imagine it's going out like that, and then that is going to come back at an angle to where we're going to have 14 inches in the front. At the most front point will be 14 inches. Okay. So now I say we measure up some 1-inch square and get our 3 pieces that we need. The left and right side piece that's going to go out to our old frame to weld to. And then we know that our 14 inches is a true 14 inches for the front. We get that there, and we can start putting the frames back to see how it fits up. Dude, this might not be hard at all. Before you guys roast us in the comments, we're just using the little Mighty Max titanium flux welder just to like tack it on. We're gonna actually MIG and TIG this when it's all done, but we just need to get our measurements right. So we went ahead and we spaced those out and we got them even on both sides, even with the table, as you can see. So that will all correspond to our measurements of what we're looking to get. Now we've already kind of lopped the rest of the frame at an angle. So we're gonna put this over and basically draw the angles of all 4 of those and then measure them up to where the 14-inch piece fits perfect in the front. Well, we have a front X brace for the front end. Like I say, don't worry about the flux welds. I'm welding with stainless, so I'm able to penetrate real well. But they are ugly because it's one of those flux core wire welders. I'm gonna clean all that stuff up and actually take all these welds to make them look good. Right now, we're just doing some structural stuff and getting some metal into it, and we're making it stick. But we got the front bar done. Yes, we're doing square tube, and then all the X bracing is going to be 1-inch round tube. So now I'll let those welds cool a little bit, make sure nothing's warped, everything's still square, and then I can start basically cleaning up and putting X bracing down in the bottom. All these sidebars, all this stuff is all gonna get X braced. I got 2 of the 3 floor crossbars done. I'm gonna put those 2 bars right there and put 1 more X in that front section. And then I can finally get to the side bars. Here's what we've got done so far. We've got the X braces and the floor. The more and more I look at this, it's just going to be so much more work to basically work with what's on the cart here suspension wise, and then try to build our own suspension since we're going to a suspension setup and not just that hard mount damper style. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to lob this bar here, these 2 plates, and then you can see these markings. I'm gonna cut that top part and basically remove that whole section, and then I'll build square tube back there. I'll put a new brace where our suspension will basically kind of mount up. I want this actually kind of offset, and then I'll do the X bracing through it. I just think it's gonna look so much better instead of thrown together, if you would. I'm gonna start hacking. Quick update. Sorry about so much time lapse, guys. It's a lot of repetition, but basically what I did is cut pipe, cleaned up, welded it in. You can see I started cleaning up everything, knocking the welds back, getting all of the scale, all of the garbage off of the frame so it'll look clean, bare metal when we're done. But you can see we have a Kirky race seat in here. This is definitely a big upgrade over literally that flat piece of sheet metal that was just lodged in there. Like, we have an actual seat, we'll have a 5-point harness in here. I'm gonna clean a lot of this off camera and finish the last few bars I have to go into the frame. All right, so off camera, I kind of played around with a few things and I cut up some 3/16 steel and basically made these little slats, if you would, that I could weld onto the frame and then put the seat sliders in here. But unfortunately, running them the way you're supposed to with that vertically, it wouldn't clear the seat. So we had to run them this way. And I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna have to drill into it, get 2 mounting points right there. And that's basically our furthest up position. And then that gives us about 6.5 inches to go back. So it'll fit anybody from like 5'8" to 6'6". Let's hope this works. So I've got everything lined up. Unfortunately, our seat is a little bent, so it's not the best unit of measurement, but I have it pretty much squared up in the angle of rise that I want it in the frame. So I'm gonna drill some of these holes and get it hard mounted. All right, here we go. I got the seat hard mounted. Ugh. Let's see, this is basically its most forward position. Oh, man. She fits perfect. We'll probably end up widening these out, like flaring them out up against the halo bar. But this is gonna work, boys. Yeah, dude, this is gonna be so sick. And then for our taller riders, somewhere underneath here, that's your furthest position back. So we should have everything we need and everything in between on a slider. So basically we build it around here and then we've got 7 inches of adjustment going backwards. Awesome. Now I get to pull all this stuff out and then fully weld out this frame. All right, I'm gonna leave the seat in here for now. I'm actually gonna take a break from cleaning up the frame and full weld out all that stuff. I wanna mock fit everything so that way we know it's one and done and we don't have to go back and make revisions or changes later down the road. So here's my thought process. Like I was talking about cutting the cockpit pieces up. We know we have solid bar right here. I do think that that's going to basically be about where we want the end of it to land because our yoke and steering stem are going to come out a little bit further than that. So this is kind of how we want to end it. But I just put the stock halo bar on here that goes like that. And it almost has like the distance and everything that we need. So I know that I need to raise this part up a little bit just so all our big feet and everything fits underneath it. So my thought process is basically building kind of like the coffin style to where it'll come up little 45s and clear your legs. And then the further back you go, it'll be higher up. I know I'm waffling on and it's not really making sense, but let me go ahead and design it, start putting some riser pieces on. And realistically, if it sucks, we'll just build it another way. dude, it's like the same exact thing. Oh, there's a, okay. I see it now. Yeah, that's a lot. All right, so I did a lot of stuff off camera, but as you can see, we now have a full chassis. Everything's mocked up and tacked. Maybe a couple little sidebars might still go in places and little massaging here and there. But now we're gonna clean this whole frame and get her finally welded up. All right, well, here she is, guys. This is the final design. I'm sorry it's a little ugly. It's basically tacked, and then we started cleaning up everything and going back and TIG welding. So I'm not gonna bore you guys with showing you that in this episode. You can see the structure in the frame and the basic design of what we're going for. This thing is going to be the fastest cocoon on 4 wheels. Looks absolutely sick. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you've come to the channel for the RC8 content, don't worry. I actually have a whole nother episode shot on that. We just had a couple failed prints, so it'll be uploaded within the next couple days. We love doing these crazy builds for you guys and basically sharing our passion with you. If you like this build and you think there's certain things that we should do to it, please leave them down in the comment section. We read all the comments here, even the bad ones, but go ahead, leave it down below. And we love to see what you guys think on not just this build, but if you like the RC8 as well, please let me know how you feel. It's absolutely free to subscribe, so go ahead, stick around, turn on the bell notification, all that jazz. By you subscribing and liking the videos and the content that we do, it encourages us and tells us that you like that, so we create more of this stuff for you guys. So please stick around, because in the next episode, we're tearing down the R6 and we're putting a motor in this bad boy. We'll see you on the next one.